Hi Roger, I'm responding to your email asking for information in how to do some basic data entry for your phono ad images. We'll start with the first question you had and how to add titles for them. So the first thing I'll do is log into PDID. And as you log in, you'll see that it's defaulting on mine to the Browse Collections page. As you can see, it's available under Resources on the left and Browse. If you click Browse, it takes you to this page if you're going elsewhere when you log in. I'm going to click and look on the right or find your collection within the collection field. So I've chosen that, and it's sorting them according to identifier when it first starts out, and I'll leave it there. What I'm going to do then is choose the R button because I know that we have some files that are labeled with RP, so those are the real photos. What I'm going to do is go to the first one and show you when that record is up that if you click this little pencil icon to the lower left of the thumbnail of the image, what that does is brings up the editor for that image. So what you can then do is go to the associated field that you'd like to modify. In this case, the identifier and resource fields are already taken, so don't edit those. Those are important fields for locating the records and associated images that go with them. You're welcome to modify any of the other fields, the title, subject, description, date, format, source fields. So you had mentioned the title, so I'm just going to type into this test title just for purposes of showing you how it works. I'll click Save Changes. You get a message at the top that the changes have been saved, and if you click this back button to go back to the list, you'll see now that within the thumbnail you'll also have a title showing in the short view of this. So test title is now the title of this piece. It's fully manageable or fully editable. You can go back and change that. In fact, I'm going to take it out. So I've gone back to the browse and to the initial page, RP15. You can see test title again, edit, and I'm going to select and delete that, and then click the Save Changes button. Changes have been saved, and as you can see, the title is not there. I'm going to click the back button, and the title is not currently listed as there's no data for it associated with it. So it's very easy to browse your collection and select one of the files and edit it and edit those fields. They're all there. If you find that you'd like to add an additional field to the collection, what I'd suggest you do is, instead of doing it here, I'd go to the Collections tab under Management on the left side of the screen, click that, choose your collection from the list, and then click on the, you can see these upper areas where it says permission, field definitions, controlled lists, and whatnot. Those are all clickable links. So if you click the field definitions button, you'll see that you'll be given a list of all the particular fields that are associated with the records in that collection. What this will do is create a field definition for the entire collection as opposed to just adding it to the slide. What you'd need to do if you'd like to add one is click the Create New button and then name it. What I'm going to do is just call this code. I'm going to put it in test in parentheses so that we know that that is a test field to be removed later. I'd leave all these checkboxes checked as searchable, keyword searchable, sortable, and browsable, and leave the type as text as well. And I'm going to create or click the Submit Changes button, and it's been added to the list, as you can see at the bottom of the list of items here. Now, I knew how to format it as I just compared it to other fields that I've already populated or already exist in the collection. If I click Modify after selecting one of them, you'll see that it comes up with what all the different variables are for that field. If I decide not to change it, I'll just go to the next one and click modify, and you can see that resource is both the name and the label for that field, as is the case for title, subject, description, and so on. So if you're going to create a new field and you don't know how to lay it out, I suggest you just go to one of the fields that's already been created and exists in the collection, click the modify button, and then use that information to fill in the fields, not the particular information, but what you can see which information is being used, and use that as a guide when you create a new one. So now we've created this code field. If you decide you want it somewhere else in the list, let's say you'd like it to be listed after title, what you can do then is move it. So I've selected it in the list, and if I click the arrow keys to the right where it says before identifier, and I want it, let's say I want it after title, that means I want it before subject. You'll choose before subject and click move, and you'll see that the code field jumped up before subject and after title. So you can easily rearrange the order of them as they appear within your collection as well. So I'm going to go back to properties, I'm going to go back to browse, and then choose RP15 and click edit, and you'll see now that the code test field is now available here. So I'm going to put group 1 just as a indication of what the code is. Save the changes and go back, and then I'm going to do that to a couple of other ones within the collection too, just to illustrate to you what some of the search functions will provide for you once you've created a field that's searchable like that. So I'm going through and I'm creating 3 separate groups just arbitrarily for these first 6 files, and we'll take a look at then how we will search those fields momentarily. Okay, so now I've created a group 1, group 2, group 3, group 1, group 2, group 3 for these first 6 files here, just to give you an idea of what's available with the search function then. So I'm going to go now to search on the left side of the screen. Underneath resources, I'll click search, and right now it's defaulted to the last thing I did, which was your Vetter's Scans Fall 09 collection. So what you do then to search a collection is put a checkbox there, and as you can see, it populates the list with the different fields that are within each file. So you can see the code test is one of those fields, and I'm going to put in group 2 to show you what happens when I click search now. The 2 records that I within the code test field labeled as group 2 will now come up as in the search. So you can create a field that you can use to code them, as you mentioned within your email, code them with a specific name or group name, and then do searches that will pull all those associated images together into one search. So I think that answers the questions that you asked me within the email. If you have any other questions related to that, feel free to email me. I'd be glad to help you out in how to go about doing that. So thanks a lot, and good luck with the collection.